So just imagine that you're supposed to play baseball, and yet you have no idea how to play the game. You know, you get thrown out onto the field, and you just see a ball and a stick, some guys out there, and you have no idea what you're supposed to do. But you're supposed to win, and you're supposed to do a good job at playing. But you have no idea. You're supposed to kick the ball into the fence or something. Are you supposed to throw the bat? Are you supposed to hit people with the bat? What are you supposed to do? Well, essentially, that's kind of what life is like in dating and dealing with the opposite sex when you don't understand how the game works. If you don't understand the fundamental, the rules of the game and how the game actually works, then it's going to be a very frustrating process and a very difficult process. And that's why most men go their whole lives not understanding women, and they that's why so many people suffer with failed relationship after relationship. Divorce rates are through the roof, and you always hear people all the time saying, making jokes and saying things about how confusing it is to understand women. It's just impossible to understand women and what they want. No, it's not really that hard, and it's not that, they're not that as complicated as society would like to make it believe. But most people just have no idea. They've never taken the time to research the truth about reality. They've never taken the time to dig deep into discovering the truth about sexual dynamics, and about the truth about the behavior of men, and the truth about the behavior of women. And that is why a lot of people go through their whole life, depressed over women, frustrated over women, never understanding them, and living their whole lives under the thumb of the opposite sex, and only making choices to try to impress the opposite sex, but they're living incongruently with what their own wishes and desires are. They're just essentially going through life, keeping up with the Joneses, trying to choose a career and job and everything just so that they can impress the opposite sex, and failing miserably, and then and not understanding why anything is going on, and it's very frustrating them, and that's why they're like that guy who gets thrown out into the baseball field and is frustrated because they don't understand the rules of the game and how it works. And so that is why men need to go their own way. Essentially, what MGTOW is about is about it's about taking that red pill, and that's why it's referred to as the red pill, because you're finding out the bitter truth of the reality. But the truth of the matter is that after you go through the initial stages, the shock, the anger, the upset, the emotional roller coaster in the beginning of finding out the truth about the reality of women's and female nature, it can be kind of shocking, and you want to argue it, you don't want to believe it, you don't want to accept it, but in the end, you're going to get to a place in your life where you're going to have more peace in your life than ever before. And that is if you continue to work on yourself and believe in self-improvement and self-development, and continuing to work on yourself as a person. And then adding on to that, in being grateful and appreciative for reality for what it is, not in wanting to wish women were something that they're not, but love and appreciating for who they are and how they are, and just accepting the reality for what it is. That's why I think a big reason of why a lot of men also suffer from depression in their dealings with women so frustratingly, is because they wish women were something that they'll never be. It's kind of like being mad at a lion because a lion kills and devours other animals. Well, no, that's just what lions do. And so it's important for men to take that red pill and understand the truth about sexual dynamics and men and women's true biological nature and how they function and why it is that they do what they do, so that way you can understand the rules to the game and how the game works. And then from on there on out, you can have a lot of fun. You can still, date if you'd like. You can get into a long-term relationship. You can get married, or you can stay happily single for the rest of your life without having to feel like you're missing out on something. But either way, whatever you decide to do in going your own way, at least that way that you're conscious and you're intentional in your actions, and you understand how the game works, so that you can make the best choices and decisions for yourself and for your future. So that when you do date and you have relationships with women, you understand and you appreciate and you love them for how they are. You understand their nature and how they're going to be, and you're not going to be, you'll just accept it and appreciate the reality for what it is. Not being like, wow, why can't they be like me? Why can't they just see things like this? Why can't they? Why? That's a loop. You'll never find an answer to that. But if you understand the truth and you go and you dig down deep in your research, and which I highly recommend to do, beyond just even YouTube, but really to read books and to educate yourself about the truth about sexual dynamics and men and women's female nature, to understand why people do what they do, and it'll make your life a lot more peaceful and pleasant, because then you know the rules of the game and how the game works. So I highly recommend for men, read the Rational Male series, all books 1 through 3. They're all incredible, and they'll all help wake you up. It's a great book series that I highly recommend. And if you have any other, right now I'm having a little brain freeze on the other books because I've read so many books, but leave some comment below. If you have some other literature and books, MGTOW, red pill related books, to share with other men to help them in the awakening process, then yeah, comment them below. But it's, in my opinion, it's important for all men to go their own way, to wake up to the reality of the world that we live in, and so that way you can go through life with ease and peace, and living life intentionally, living life on purpose, rather than getting pushed around by life and society, frustrated, never understanding how the game of life works. So with that being said, guys, I hope you all having a great day, a great week, a great month, a great year. Let's all make it a great life. See ya.